Hello friends, today we are going to learn a new lesson. Lesson's name is Narayanpur Incident, which is written by well-known Indian novelist. Novelist name is Shashi Deshpande. Narayanpur Incident is a story which is written by well-known novelist Shashi Deshpande. Who is Shashi Deshpande? Now we are going to discuss about biography of Shashi Deshpande. Shashi Deshpande is a well-known novelist in English literature. She is an Indian novelist. Her contribution is very important to enrich our English literature. She is born on 19th August 1938 in Dharwad. She got so many awards like Sahitya Academy Award, like Padma Shri Award. Such as the Sahitya Academy Award she got for her a book, novel's name is The Long Silence. She has written so many books for children. It's a very important year. She has written so many books, novels like The Dark Hold No Terrors. It is the first novel of Shashi Deshpande. Next one is that The Long Silence. Next one is that If I Die Today, A Matter of Time, The Binding Wine, The Small Remedies, Moving On, Come Up and Be a Dead, Shadow Play. Such is the book she has written. Shashi Deshpande has written. And now here, her contribution today also, her contribution is going on to enrich our English literature. It is a little bit introductions about Shashi Deshpande. Let us move towards our lesson. Lesson's name is Narayanpur Incident. This title is apt and appropriate. Narayanpur Incident. What was the incident in Narayanpur? What had happened? Such as the incident in Narayanpur. Narayanpur is a small town. In that town, a character, that is unseen character, which is mentioned in our lesson, a teacher. Teacher lived in a small town. Town's name is Narayanpur. And in that the Narayanpur, one incident was happened. What was the incident? The British police were arrested to our teacher. Without any reason. It's a very important, without any reason in those days. The British police were arrested to that such a person. He became a victim. And without reason they arrested to a teacher. And in those days, one moment, Moment was going on in those days, means in 1942. This year is a remarkable year, significant year. 1942, one moment was going on. What was the moment? Moment's name is the Quit India movement. Chodo Bharat. Such a the moment was under the leadership of Mahatma Gandhi ji. Such a the moment, Quit India movement, was based on Mahatma Gandhi's principle. What are the principle of Mahatma Gandhi? It is very important. Now we are going to learn principles of Mahatma Gandhi, and such a the moment was based on it. What are the principles of Mahatma Gandhi ji? Non-violence, peace and truth. There are three principles of Mahatma Gandhi, and such a the moment was based on that the principles. In this story, Narayanpur Incident, there are so many characters are mentioned in it. Which are they? Some characters are unseen character, some characters are seen character. Which is the unseen character? One, that is a teacher. Teacher is an unseen character, absent character in our story. Other seen characters are mentioned in it, like Babu, Mohan, Manju and Suman. And Suman, that is a Manju's mother. Such as the characters, seen characters are mentioned in it. Their role was very important, though their role is very important in our lesson. Now we are going to study about the introduction of the seen as well as unseen character, which is mentioned in our lesson. Lesson's name is the Narayanpur Incident. Now we are going to discuss about character, major seen as well as unseen character. The first character, a teacher. First character is a teacher. Such a the character is known as unseen character, absent character. Who is a teacher? Teacher lived in a small town. Town's name is Narayanpur. Already we have discussed. He was a follower of Mahatma Gandhi ji. Who? Our teacher, follower of Mahatma Gandhi. Father of Mohan, Babu and Manju. Father of Mohan, Babu and Manju. It is a little bit introductions about the teacher, about a teacher. Now we turn to the seen characters. The first character, Mohan. Who was a Mohan in our story? Mohan was an elder son of a teacher, brother of Babu and Manju. Then he was friend of Suman, and his age was 18 years old. His age was 18 years old. Now we turn to the next character, that is Babu. Who was a Babu? Babu was a son of teacher. Babu was a son of teacher, brother of Mohan and Manju. Brother of Mohan and that is the Manju. What was his age? His age was 13 years old. His age was 13 years old. Now we turn to the next character. Next character's name is Manju. Who was a Manju? Manju was a younger daughter of teacher. Younger daughter of a teacher, sister of Babu and Mohan. Sister of Babu and Mohan. She was 2 years younger than the Babu. And already we know that the Babu's age is 13 years old. And she was 2 years younger than the Babu. Means what was her age? Her age was 11 years old. 11 years old. Her age was 11 years old. Now we turn to the next character. Next character's name is Suman. Who was Suman? Suman was a college friend of our Mohan. College friend of Mohan. She was one of the leaders of the procession, and in those days the procession was going on against the British, because without any reason the British police were arrested to that the Mohan's father, means that is a teacher, they arrested. And so that's why the procession of the students under the leadership of that is a Mahatma Gandhiji, or that is under the movement, the Quit India movement, such the procession was going on against the British. And so that's why the year 1942 is a remarkable year in Indian history. And so here, this year, very important. And such a moment was going on. And now here it is a little bit introductions about that the all characters, seen as well as unseen characters. Now we turn to our lesson. Lesson's name is Narayanpur Incident, which is written by well-known Indian novelist. Novelist's name is Shashi Deshpande. Now we turn to introduction. The year is 1942. The time of the Quit India movement. A teacher in a small town, a follower of Gandhiji, has been arrested. His elder son, 18 years old Mohan, and his college friend, including Suman, believe in a different form of resistance to the British. His younger son, Babu, aged 13, and his daughter, that is a Manju, 2 years younger, are also keen to participate in the struggle against the British. It is a little bit introductions about that the lesson. Lesson's name is Narayanpur Incident. Already I told about that 1942. The year is a remarkable year in Indian history. The year is 1942. The time of Quit India movement. In those days, the Quit India movement was going on under the leadership of Mahatma Gandhiji against the British. It's very important. The year is 1942, the time of Quit India movement. A teacher in a small village, a small town. What is the name of a small town? Narayanpur. A teacher in a small town, a follower of Mahatma Gandhiji. He was a follower of Mahatma Gandhi. Teacher was a follower of Mahatma Gandhiji. His thought was also based on Mahatma Gandhi's principles. He was a follower of Mahatma Gandhiji. And now here, he was a follower of Mahatma Gandhiji, has been arrested. A teacher has been arrested by the British police without any reason. In those days, such a thought was going on. Thought of the British was going on. Without any reason, they arrested. And there means teacher has been arrested. His elder son, that is Mohan, 18 years old. 18 years old. And his college friend, including Suman. Suman was his college friend. Who's? Mohan's college friend. Believe in a different form of resistance to the British. Different form of resistance. Resistance means pratikar. Britishanna pratikar करायची अनेक साधनं होती. Like satyagraha, like a different types of movement. Different types of the movement. Such the form of resistance. Such the form of resistance was going on in those days. Believe in a different form of resistance to the British. And in those days already we know that they were ruler. We were ruled. They were oppressor. British were oppressor. We are oppressed. ते राज्य करते होते. ते जुलमी होते. आम्ही जुलूम करणारे करून घेणारे होतो. In India they became a owner. We became that is a servant. In those days before 1947, same situation. And so here his younger son Babu and elder son Mohan. His younger son, whose younger son? Teacher's younger son. Teacher's younger son, that is our Babu. His age was 13 years old. Already we have discussed in introductions. In introduction already we know that. And he is a daughter. Teacher's daughter. Daughter's name is, that is a Manju. 2 years younger are also keen to participate. They were participated in the struggle against the British. Actually Babu and that is a Manju, they participated, not physically. Not physically they participated in that the procession. Procession means मिरवणूक. क्विट इंडिया जी मोमेंट जी निघाली होती ती मिरवणूक निघाली होती त्याच्यामध्ये ते फिजिकली दे वर नॉट अपीयर्ड. They were not involved. They were not participate in that the moment physically. With mind, yes, okay, no problem. They involved. ते त्याच्यामध्ये नव्हते पण मनानं होते. They were like, their role was like onlookers. जसे प्रेक्षक असतात तशा पद्धतीनं त्यांनी काम तिथं केलेलं आहे. त्यांच्या गल्लीमधून एक प्रोसेशन निघाली असते, क्विट इंडिया मूवमेंट निघालेली असते. छोडो भारत, क्विट इंडिया मूवमेंट, चले जाओ. ही जी मूवमेंट सुरू झाली होती ब्रिटिशांच्या विरोधातली, त्या मिरवणुकीमध्ये बाबू आणि मंजू नसतात. देवर ऑनलुकर. जसं प्रेक्षक बघितलं जात म्हणजे बघणारे जे लोक असतात त्याच्यामधले ते आहेत दोघं. Means they were not involved physically in that the procession of a Quit India movement. They were not involved. And so here they participated in the struggle against the British. And now here what happened? They were onlooker. Babu and the Manju, they were not physically involved in the procession. And such the procession was going on against the British. And now here their role was like that, onlookers. Whose role was that is the onlookers? Babu and the Manju. And now here we turn to our lesson. Are you coming, Manju? Are you coming, Manju? Babu asked. Coming, but where? Said Manju. Even as a brother and sisters were talking, they were heard magically words. They are coming, they are coming. The children like others rushed out, heedless of the rain. Policemen now appeared all along the road. Some of them walked in front of the students, some are by the other side. But the students marched as if the police didn't exist. They walk in a complete silence. There were no slogans, there were no shouts, just the shuffle of feet and the drip of rain and a low murmur from the watching crowd. Now such a discussion was going on. Discussion between Manju and the Babu. about that the procession. And the procession is going on, and they were onlooker, they were not physically involved in that the struggle, in that the moment, in that the procession, they were not. But the discussion was going on. They were onlooker, bagnare, yes. And now we are coming. Are you coming? Are you coming, Manju? Babu asked one question to that Manju. Are you coming, Manju? Are you coming? Where? Reply of Manju. Reply of Manju like that. Coming? But where? You're coming, no problem, but where? She did not know. She did not know. But that is the Babu knew very well. And so Babu called to that the Manju to go there. To go there. There means to see the procession. To see the procession, and so that's why he called to that our Manju. Are you coming, Manju? Babu asked, coming, but where? Said the Manju. Even as a brother and sister were talking, even as a brother and the sister were talking, they heard the magical words. They heard the magical word. Yes, they are coming, they are coming. They heard the magical words. What are the magical words? Magical words, they are coming, they are coming. All are the magical words. And such that means here they heard, they means that is our Babu and that is the Manju. Babu and the Manju heard the magical word. They are coming, they are coming. Children like others rushed out. Other children were rushed out from the houses. And to see to that the procession in such a crowd of people said like that, they are coming, they are coming. Such a words they heard. Such a words they heard. They are coming, they are coming. Children like others rushed out, heedless of the runs. And in those days, yes, it was raining. When the procession was going on, at that time, it was raining. It was raining. And they heedless, they neglected to that the rain also. Children, you see. Zeal of the children. Zeal of the children, you see. And they neglected such a the rain, heedless of the rain. Policemen now appeared all along the road, and the policemen were there. Procession was going on. On the other sides, both sides, there the police were there, British police were there. And now here, the policemen now appeared all along the road, the policemen were there, were there. Some of them walk in front of the students. Some policemen will walk in front of the students. Procession was going on. And in that the procession, all students were there. You try to understand one thing. Students. There is a close relation between the student and the teacher. And in that the Quit India movement, in that the procession, who were there? Who involved? The students were involved. According to them, it was injustice. It was injustice. And they involved, that is the students were involved in that the procession. Some of them walk in front of that student. Some of the police by their sides. But the students march. The students was marching. Students were going on. Students were marching as if the police didn't exist. Means it was a speciality of that the procession. Speciality of the procession. There was no any slogan. There was no any shout. They went, keep quiet. They went, keep quiet. It was a speciality or features of or characteristics of that the procession. And already we have discussed. Already you know that such as the procession, Meronuk procession was based on Mahatma Gandhi's principle. And so here it is a speciality of that the procession. Students march as if the police did not exist. आणि मुलं अशी चाललेली आहेत. असं तर प्रोसेशन मिरवणूक चाललेली आहे. जणू काही तिकडं पोलीसच नव्हते अशा पद्धतीनं ते चाललेले आहेत. It is a speciality of that the procession. They walked in a complete silence. They means all students in that the procession. They means who here? That is the students in that the procession. They walked in a complete silence. They walked in a complete, everywhere there was a silence. Pin drop silence. Everywhere there was a pin drop silence. They walked in a complete silence. There were no slogans. There were no slogans. And today's, we know that today's procession is going on. There is a lot of slogans. There is the shout. So many things. But in those days, yes, they walked in a complete silence. There were no slogans. There were no shouts. Just a shuffle of feet. Shuffle of feet means that is a म्हणजे पायाचे जे पाया चालत असताना जो पायाचा आवाज येतो तो shuffle of feet. Shuffle of feet, drip of rain. Drip of rain means rain is going on. It's a raining. It was raining in those days. Drip of rain and low murmur. Murmur means uttering, utter, put-putne आणि कुजबुजल्यासारखा आवाज. Low murmur from the watching crowd, and on both sides there was a watching crowd. And in that the watching crowd, who were there? Babu and Manju, both were there in a watching crowd. They were onlookers. They were not physically involved in the procession. But in that the procession, Mohan, Suman and other college friends or other students were involved in the procession against the British. ब्रिटिशाच्या विरोधात हा मोर्चा निघालेला आहे. And so here, Babu and Manju looked eagerly for Mohan. They were very much interested. Babu and Manju were very much interested to see such a procession. Babu and Manju looked eagerly उत्सुकतेने, eagerly for Mohan. Yes, there he was, and he saw, or they saw, to that the Mohan. He was one of them. Yes, there he was, dressed in a white pyjamas, and he wore. Which type of dress? That is the white pyjamas. Who put on white pyjamas? Mohan. Mohan put on means paridhan karne. Mohan put on the white pyjamas and cream color shirt. He wore the cream color shirt with another boy, both holding aloft a picture of Mahatma Gandhi. Mahatma Gandhi was not involved in the Quit India movement. No. The image, photo of the Mahatma Gandhi, they took the thought of Mahatma Gandhi. Such the tool they use. And so here, with another boy, both holding aloft a picture of Mahatma Gandhi. आणि ते दोघं मुलं महात्मा गांधीचा फोटो समोर घेऊन ते चालतायत. असं पिक्चर आपल्याला इन युअर टेक्स्टबुक मध्ये सुद्धा पाहायला मिळतं. And she was one of them. Miss Mohan was one of them. Their arms must have the act holding it up that way for so long, but their faces were expressionless. Now the leaders of the procession. Suman was one of them. They saw the excitement had reached the barricade gates. A police officer, she was a DSP, Mohan told them. A latter came up to them. There was some conversation between him and students. Their arm must have the act holding it means photo of Mahatma Gandhi up that way for so long. And they took such a photo, or upholded, we say that, upholded such a photo. And now here, there was a paining in the arms. And so here, their arms must have the act holding it up that way for so long. And Mahatma Gandhiचा फोटो असं भरपूर काळ भरपूर वेळ हातामध्ये धरल्यामुळं त्यांच्या त्या बाहूमध्ये वेदना होत आहेत. Then their arms must have the act holding it up that way for so long, but their faces were expressionless. Their faces were expressionless. There means students' faces were expressionless. Our face is our mirror of inner mind. And so here their faces look like that is the expressionless. Now the leaders of the procession, Suman was one of them. Suman was one of them, and she was also one of the leaders of the procession. Suman was one of them. They saw in excitement had reached the barricade gates, and already the British police put such a barricade gates to control to that the public. And now here they reach, or the procession reached towards that the barricade gates. It is the last boundary. And now here beside that is the barricades, police officer was there, British police was there, that is our DSP, district superintendent police, that is the DSP was there. He was standing beside the barricades. And now here the police officer, he was the DSP. Mohan told them later, afterwards the Mohan, who he was, he told to that the Babu and that is the Manju. Then he was the DSP, came up to them, and DSP came to that the procession. There was some discussion between the DSP and that is a student. Such a little bit conversation between both. The student seems to be arguing. The rain had a lesson now, and the police officer took off the hat and ruffled his hair. Once he laughed and showing all his teeth, but the students remained serious. One of them handed him a piece of paper. He took it without glancing at it and nodded. The students turned their back on him, and one of them shouted, Mahatma Gandhi ki jai. The other shouted back loudly, and then they briskly marched back the way they had come. Such a conversation was going on between DSP and the students. Then the students seems to be arguing. Students look like that is arguing, seems to be arguing. The rain had a lesson now, and पाऊस सुद्धा आता कमी होत चाललेला आहे. Lesson means कमी होणे. The rain had a lesson now. The British officer took off his hat. British officer's hat took off his hat and ruffled his hair. That is a ruffle. Yes, केसावर हात फिरवतो. Ruffled his hair. Once he laughed. He means that is our British police or a DSP or officer. Once he laughed and showing all his teeth. Maybe he laughed, and so that's why he shows his all teeth. But the students remained serious. One side he was laughing, and other side all the students were serious. Such a the contrast we will get between our DSP, means that is a DSP, and our the Mohan. The students remained serious. One of them handed him a piece of paper, and one of the students gave to our DSP, that is a piece of paper. आपण जसं एखादं निवेदन देतो तशा पद्धतीचं निवेदन या विद्यार्थ्यांनी दिलेलं आहे, आणि या ब्रिटिश ऑफिसरनं DSPनं स्वीकारलेला आहे. He took it. The DSP took it without glancing at it and nodded. त्याच्याकडे बघितलं पण नाही, त्या निवेदनाकडे त्यानं बघितलं नाही, आणि आपलं त्याने मान हलवलेले आहे. Nodded means मान हलवणे. He took it without glancing at it and nodded. The student turned their back, and at last the student turned back. Student turned their backs on him, and one of the students shouted, Mahatma Gandhi ki jai. Mahatma Gandhi ki jai. One of the students shouted like that. Others shouted back loudly, Mahatma Gandhi ki jai. Other students were also shouted Mahatma Gandhi ki jai. And then they briskly means quickly means laukarat laukar. They briskly march back the way they had come. आणि जसं ते आले होते तसंच ते परत पाठीमागे गेलेले आहेत. Then they briskly march back the way they had come. It is our procession. The procession, it is a speciality of the procession is like that. There were no shout, there were no slogan. Means at last one of the students had given such a slogan. But here everywhere there is a silence, complete silence. It is a speciality of that the procession. Thank you very much.